Good evening, everyone. I hope we can have some interesting discussion this evening about gender bias and communication at the workplace. I'll try and focus on two aspects today. One would be the gender biases that we see at work, and the other is how to have a non-gendered or genderless use of language while communicating at our workplace. I will try and keep this a very short presentation because I am looking forward to a conversation with all of you later on. I'd like to say that I am a perpetual student, and everything that I'm going to say today is from studies, my personal study and reading from about this topic and subject for the last decade or so. And I wouldn't presume to know the breadth and the depth of everything that has to do with gender or communication. But these are just some of the ideas that I have collected over time, and I find them quite useful. They have influenced me quite a bit in my personal interaction with society. I have a special interest in understanding how the human mind works. So this is a little bit from my journey of understanding it. From the minute we're born, all humans are bombarded with a barrage of information from the world around us. Scientists in cognitive psychology might argue that this process begins even before our birth. Our brains are flooded with light, sound, movement, hormones that shape the way we think, act, and feel. For the technophiles amongst us, one might think of a baby's brain filled with apps, much like the phone, each one equipped with its own AI, which learns, adapts, accepts, and then responds according to information that is fed into it. Our AI learns over time and remembers our likes and dislikes, memories, good and bad, our connections. My iPhone now recognizes my voice, types for me, remembers which pages I've visited recently. The AI in it also suggests and creates shortcuts for me so that I can get to the information I'm looking for very quickly. Much like a phone or a computer, our brains develop rules, or in psychology terms, heuristics, which we base our responses, actions upon. Over time, under the influence of our family, friends, colleagues, the print and visual media, and all of our own personal experience of the world around us, we create many, many such rules. We are all cognitive misers, and we like to take shortcuts making everyday decisions. After a rule has worked well for us in our everyday interactions, it becomes part of our processing system. It goes into the background, and we no longer need to remain conscious of this rule. I'll let you look at this picture I found on Pinterest for a couple of seconds. These are some of the rules that are commonly believed. To be able to function in our everyday lives, we must see these stereotypes, heuristics, or we would be paralyzed with indecision. A widely held but fixed and oversimplified image or idea of a particular type of person or thing is a stereotype. When we attach our prejudice to this stereotype, it can then result in bias. So we tend to favor or not favor a particular person, idea, or thing, even a group of people based on our bias. So by corollary, you are not alone. Every single human on this planet learns, thinks, and functions daily for every single human interaction using these rules. We have stereotypes, and we are all biased. So much so that psychologists have designed this bias codex. There are hundreds of biases that we all use, and when faced with decision-making under time pressure, we all fall prey to these. And at almost every time, we don't have to think twice about why. These are unconscious biases.